just got done creating this. The tutorial is here. This is my designer Disney bag. This baby is 8.5 by almost 8. 8.5 by 8. You're gonna love this. Alright, keep watching, enjoy the tutorial, and I will see you all real soon. Bye. So I'm gonna be working with a pattern that I created, and I'm gonna have a separate video on how I did this. Real simple. That's it. The Mickey Mouse punch. But if you're working with a pattern that has a design series paper that has a pattern, it's going to wrap around like this. So you want your pattern to be in the right direction. So to do this, they have to be opposite. Now, to begin, what we're going to do is we're using an 8.5 by 11. We're going to take out our scoreboard, and we're going to find our scoring tool. And on this side, we're going to mark a 1/2 inch. All right? And because we're working it backwards, right, we want it to be in that direction. All right? So you'll be able to figure this out. So 1/2 inch on the opposite side, because we're going to leave these papers just like that. What we're going to do next is we're going to grab our score tape. You can use wet glue if you'd like, no problem. I'm just going to run my 1/4 inch score tape right along the bottom. I am going to burnish it real quick. Peel it. And we are now going to attach this. Okay, this is the base of our bag. Our bag is going to start to wrap like this. That's it. Our bag, this is our bag. Put this to the side. Actually, you know what we can do? Let's fold and burnish. Ah, yeah, you know what? This is what we're going to do next. We're going to do this. Whatever trim color you would like, we're going to grab that. So I know I'm going to trim my bag in black. So take out your cutter. And we only need an 8.5 piece, but I don't have an 8.5, so let's make it. We want it to be 3/4 of an inch wide by 8.5. We're going to need that twice. We need 2 of those. So let's cut another one at 3/4 by 8.5. All right. Then we're going to take our scoreboard again. And what we're going to do is we're going to score this. We're going to score this at a 1/2 inch. We're going to do that to both of them. Score it at a 1/2 inch. And then we're going to fold on that score line. Fold on that score line. Fold on this score line. You could give this a good burnish because this is going to become our trim. Now I use wet glue for this. Now the 1/2 inch side is going to go on the back. Just like that. Very cute, right? Wet glue. I was looking for wet glue, and it's right here. Alright, so let's use some wet glue. I know videos take long when you're using wet glue, right? Alright, so remember we're covering up the 1/2 inch side with the trim, and we're just lining it up just like that. And it gives us this really pretty decorative border. I'm going to give it a good burnish. And then we're going to do it to the other side. Hope everybody's having a great day. I'm going to try not to fast forward through this, because if you're crafting along, you're actually doing it in the same time frame as I am. Okay, so remember the 1/2 inch is on this side, the 1/4 inch is on the front. Line it up and press it down. And then give it a good burnish. You can turn it over and burnish it again. And it just gives it that really cool detail, right? Really does. Alright, now this can be put to the side. Take out your cutting boards, and now we need 2 7x7s. So 7. Oh, I gotta cut one more. I want to line my Mickeys up. I want to make sure that they're looking good. So let's see what happens when I go. Well, let's see. Because I have a pattern paper that I want to use, 8.5, so center. I know I'm being crazy, but you know what? It really doesn't matter. I'm not being that crazy. Alright, I need one more piece of my designer paper. And this is what we're going to do. Here's your 7x7. We're going to bring back our scoreboard. We need to score 1/2 inch on 3 sides. 1, 2, 3. Right? You have it there. What I'm going to do for this purpose is I am just going to also mark them on paper, like with the pencil, so that you can actually see what I'm doing. So after I score, you'll have a visual. I need to then give this a tick, like, you know what I mean, a tick mark at 3.5 inches. So that's basically just a tiny score at the top. Then I need to turn it this way, right? And at 2.5, let's give it another tick mark right there. Then what we're going to do is, on this side, we're going to go 2.5. So 7, 6, 5.5. At the 5.5, I'm sorry, it's the 4.5 mark. The 4.5 mark, make a tick mark. Okay, so you see where I'm at on that? I needed them to be opposite. So that's why we worked from right to left on this. Alright, now I'm going to zoom you in, because this is what we're going to do. From this mark to this mark, we need a score line. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to line it up here, and I'm going to line this up here. And that's how I'm going to get a diagonal score mark. See that? Let me color it in. I just got a diagonal score mark. Now I'm going to do it to this side. I'm going to line that up here and this up here. And I'm going to get a score mark. Just like that. And this is what your paper should look like. Now for the next part. Grab a penny. You need a penny. Alright. Take your penny. And this is why we're making the rounded corners. Let me show you the bag. All right. See how the bag has rounded corners? This is how we get that without a die cutting machine. So I'm going to grab the penny and I'm going to leave it right there. And I am just going to draw a circle. Then I'm going to bring it down to those intersecting lines. And I am going to do the same thing. I'm going to go over to this side and do the same exact thing. Just like that. Then we're going to come over here. And that's what our paper looks like. Pretty cool, right? Now get your scissors. I'm going to zoom you in. And this is how we're going to cut it. We're going to cut from this corner to this penny mark. Right there. We're cutting that. We're cutting this. We're cutting this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut 1, 2. 1, 2. Just like that. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut up to that right there. Then I come over here and I cut that one. This way you have a visual, right? And then I'm just going to cut that one and that one, that one, and that one. And this is what happens. You put your finger in there. I don't care what finger you use. And you start moving these up. Just like that. And look at what happens. It becomes a circle. How cool. All right, so you don't have to draw that out. So this is how I do it, so that you stay even. Straight up the middle, one over here, one over here. It's about a 1/2 inch-ish. It really doesn't matter. Then 1, 2. Ready? 1, 2. And then you just start folding it in. Real simple. How stinking cool is this? All right. So this side is done. Just like that. So let's move on to the next one. Got my designer series paper and I've got to make this a 7x7. So 7 by 7. All right. Now remember, when you're using a directional paper, right? Let's go back to that for a second. If you're using a directional paper, you got to make sure that we're scoring this one, and this one. So let's put it on. See how I did that? Just make sure that your directional paper, so my first score line is at the bottom. You can actually score on this if you want, you know, with your paper facing you. Just make sure you get one on the left, one on the right, and one on the bottom. All right. So I just work from behind because that's where I draw the, I use the pennies, right? So now, after we did the one side, the two sides, and the three sides, we gotta come back up here to the 3.5, give it a tick, turn it, at the 2.5, give it a tick, and then we're gonna turn it, and we're gonna go 2.5 inches from 7, so I said that that was 4.5. All right, so you know what? I could give myself a visual, and so can you. So mark it with a pencil if you have to. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to zoom you back in so that you can watch how I do it again. I'm going to just line them up on my scoreboard. And I'm going to score it. Just like that. Now we're going to do our circles again for the pennies. Where did my penny go? Hello? Did you all see what I did with my penny? I see a dime, and there's my penny. It was hiding. Okay. So these are my two corners here. Grab my pencil, do my half circle, move down to my score lines, and do another one. Circle, circle. And now what we're going to do is we're going to just trim. And this is so, you know, when you don't have pencil marks. So I'm going to go straight from the corner up. I'm going to move it over, go to that score line, go to that score line, and then I'm just making two cuts. That's it. Okay. And then that starts taking shape. How stinking easy, right, girls? And you don't have to fold them all the way over. Don't do that because we're not going to need them to be folded all the way over. So straight up the middle, one to the right, one to the left, and then 1, 2 in between. 1, 2. That's it. Let's fold it up. All right. You just want to give them a nice little beginning of a roundness. All right. Then we're going to fold and burnish the other score lines. So let's do the 3 sides first. We'll do the 3 sides. Just like that. How cool, right? So you can fold in on that, fold in on that, but now this is what we're going to do. Turn it over. These are going to come in, but the side is going to go out. So I need it to be like that. So fold this in, fold that score line in, and bring this one to the front. And give it a nice burnish. Okay, we're going to do it again to that other one. So we'll start with the sides. It's always easier to start with the sides. Start with the sides. You can actually leave the sides folded in if that works for you. And then I fold backwards, and then I fold forwards. I don't know why, I just do. Fold backwards, and then I fold forwards, and then I give it a nice burnish. Our sides are done. That wasn't so bad, right? All right, now to put the bag together. Ta-da! All right, so bring it back. Bring it on back. Now I'm just going to grab my ruler so that you have a visual. And I am marking just along the base of where I put the 2 pieces together, right? So you have a visual. Then I'm going to grab this. I'm going to open that up right here. Now we know that our length is 7. I want you to give it a little hash mark at 3.5. Do it to both of them. And I'm going to show you why. So just mark 3.5 from end to end. And let's do this. All right. We have to put glue on this side. So what I do is this. I'm going to add glue. And you add a decent amount because this is what's going to hold your thing. Line this up here. fold it over, and you'll have time when you, since you're using wet glue, to make sure that it's even, line to line, paper to paper. Okay. Actually, don't put glue on this. Okay. Give it a good burnish. Now let's move this around and turn this over. So what we're doing now is we're just adding glue to this part. Alright, so let's add glue to this part right here. Alright, we're going to open it up and see where we mark that. We're going to line it up with this line, just like that, but then we're going to flip it over and we're going to make sure that our papers are straight together. See how I did that? Just want them to be straight. These have to get pushed in gently, right? They need to go in. But we're going to work on those next. Ta-da! Now we're going to use the other side first because that had time to dry. Sorry, my pause button on my TV just stopped. All right. This is what we're going to do now. We're going to take this and we're going to put it to this. So to do this, this is where it becomes, it's not hard, it's just a little tricky. So I want a little bit of glue on these circles because we're gonna round this paper. All right, so add glue to your sides. Nice amount. And then I just throw some glue on those like that. Okay, now the easiest way to do this is to start rounding your paper with your fingers. So you see how I just did that? Now I come over here and I push my finger against it so that it's so hard to do on video. But what I do is I keep it down, and then I use my finger to create that circle. And I'll show it to you when I'm done. Okay. Hold on to it until the glue dries for just a few seconds, especially if you're using art glitter glue. And you see how the circle becomes, look at how the side is, can't hold it up, becoming rounded, okay? And when you put some glue and you put some pressure, it actually stays perfect. See how it has the rounded edge? All right, let's move on to the next side. So I'm going to put glue on this side right here. So I did this side, I'm doing this side. So I'm going to add some glue. Nice amount because this holds your bag together. All right, then start rounding it, but keep your finger in there. So line your paper up, push it out to the side. Oh my God, love this. Absolutely love this. I know you can't see me, but what I do is I push in on this little corner. I push in as I am lining it up sideways here. And look at the roundness. Look at how it comes out round. Let's do the other side. It doesn't matter which side you start with, okay? Does not matter. So I just add a few drops to these just so that they start to form, right? Adding decent amount to this. And then I like to bring it down. I actually like to do it this way. So I am pushing the round corner first with my finger, lining it up, and honestly, if I hold it straight here, I wish I could show you, I'm actually I'm rounding it here. I keep rounding it so that I am forming this with my finger. See that? My suggestion to you is this. Photocopy the one you want to make. Use a photocopy. Don't use your original paper first if you're not comfortable with this. This is 110-pound cardstock I'm using. I didn't want to not say that. So this is going to be a sturdy bag. So I am lining it up on the side. I line it up first on the side. I move it to where I need it to be. And then I work on my corner. I wish I can show you. See how I'm working on my corner? I'm making sure that I'm staying round. And it is staying round. Okay, give it a few seconds to dry, the last of the last, right? Then what happens is this. It folds in like a milk carton. See this? It folds in, and your paper has to get accustomed to this. And how I do that is I just gently push it in on the side. Look at how beautiful that works. Okay? So same thing. Got it done. And I take the side and I just start pinching it. You push it in and you just start pinching it just along the edge. Isn't this gorgeous? Hold on to it, right? Look at this. So stinking cute. Look at this. So then what I do is, I did take this. I have been using this. Just a little paper. And this holds it while I work on the rest of it. Now, I'm going to link below Brittany, who is BBZ Crafts with a K. She's doing one of these in a smaller version, and she is not using cut files. She's using her punches. So I'm going to link that to you, but I'm going to be linking my cut files. So let's move on to those cut files right now. This is the actual cut file that I'm going to link beneath this video below, in the description box below. You can fussy cut these and this. This can also be traced onto your material and cut out. These two things you're going to have to be creative about. If you want to trace and cut out, more power to you. I've seen people use dies, punches. You can do this. These are just decorative pieces. So there are ways around this. But if you have a Cricut, I'm also going to link these in the description box below for you. Because this was actually, I actually cut images apart to actually make this. Alright, let's move on. Now, we're going to do the handles. For the handles, you're going to need to cut out 8 of these. Okay? So since we're going to use 4 for each handle, let's put them aside. Alright, so here's the 4. We're going to glue the 4 of these down together. Now that these are done, I have 4 of those, and now these are going to be the little buckles. So what we're working on now are these and these. Alright, so this is what I did. I layer these in 8s. 8s, 2, 4, 6s. These are 6 thick. You see how nice and chunky that is? So I do that with those, and now I'm gonna do them with these, and you're gonna see how they come out. All right, so now what we're up to is we're working on this amazing long strap. Now what I did was, these are 1-inch strips, 1x12s. So what I want to do is this, I want to join them together. And I'm going to join them with my 1/4-inch score tape, just so that I know that my measurements stay the same. You can use wet glue, but just measure them next to each other, which is what I'm going to do next. So that's one. And then what I need you to do is, you need a small itsy bitsy one that is 1 by 1 5/8. So if you're not sure which one the 5/8 is, it is, and my piece is just a little bit wonky because I did use my scissor. All right, so let me show you. The 5/8 is the one after the 1/2 inch line. Do you see where 5/8 is? I know, because sometimes we all get confused with some things. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my score tape again, and I'm going to add that to the very, very bottom. All right. And then I know where it matches up. Now, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to run it next to the one that I already had done, just to make sure that they line up, because I need them to be the same exact size, for the sole purpose of this way on the bag they're the same exact size. So my first one is a little bit longer, so I'm just going to trim it. Okay. All right, now they're the same size. And now for the, if you wanted to do a decorative trim in the middle on this one, I did not. I just made little, I have my glitter pens and I made it look like stitching. So this is a great way. You decorate this any way you want. And that's the fun part about this, because when you start seeing these all over the place, you're going to be like, wow, that one did it that way. And I'm trying not to embellish this one too much, because it is just a tutorial. Like, you know what I mean? I want to just give you the meat and potatoes. So now these strips I made, they weren't 12 inches. These were an 8.5 by 11. So basically, just cut a 1/2 inch strip of the coordinating color that you would like to use, and cut as many strips as you think you need, because some of us might be using 8.5 by 11, some of us might not. I'm going to leave almost like 1/8 of an inch at the top, maybe a little bit more. I'm just decorating this part of it. This is totally optional. And your length is going to depend on what paper you're actually using. Loving this. Now we just got to add like a matching mini album to the inside of these bags. This doesn't matter how much you overlap, but I like to overlap 1/4 of an inch. Now, this part is important down here, because I'm going to trim this with the 1/4 inch side of my corner chomper. But now for this, what I did was I just bring it into the middle so that I get that kind of a look. Just like that. I actually have to just trim my sides up just a tad. So that there's no little marks. So now here, I'm going to leave it to where I want on the end, how much of the black I would like to show. And then I'm just going to give myself just enough room to overlap. So this part is all based on your decor, how you'd like to embellish it. So I'm going to add this over here, just like that. Okay, now my two pieces are done. All right, these are done. We're not going to put them on yet. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the handles. Now let's work on the handles. So this is what we're up to, putting on this really cute handle. So what I did was I am going to take a 12 by 12 and we're going to cut this at 3/4 of an inch by 12. And we need 2 of those. So cut 2 at 3/4 of an inch in whatever color you want. Alright, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to attach these two with a drop of glue. And we're going to let this dry for just a quick couple of seconds. Alright. While that's drying, we're going to take these two, and whatever you chose to do, along with these. We fold this in half, and we fold this in half. After we fold these in half, we're going to place this on the inside of them. And I'm going to line that up center, and I'm going to start the glue all the way at the top because I don't want them to move around. So see where I glued it? I'm going to zoom you in. Okay, I'm gluing it. You can actually even put some glue up there. Center it and then close it, just like that. And then you could do the same thing with the other one. Center it where you think center is, add your glue, and then close it up. Alright, now that those two are done, we're going to go back to the two 12 by 12s, and we're going to take it and we're going to bring it together in a circle. See that? And we're just going to add glue at one side of it. Left out a spot. These two things go on it. Okay? After you add those, put this on. And we're going to let this dry for a good few seconds. Alright. Need that to really dry. So this side and this side is where I attach them. And I am just going to flatten it out. One is staying at this end and one is staying at that end, and we're flat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with, now I'm not, this is going to have play in it. I don't want to glue it like I glued this part. You can after the fact if you do not want it to move. So I begin with some glue, and then I want to show you. Just partial, probably about a ½ inch down, and I close this end. And I just found it easier this way. I don't know why. And then I came this way and went backwards. It just seemed to work out very easy. And then I just pressed it down. And then what happens is this. I chose to do a decorative strip, and my decorative strip is only a ½ inch by, I think this is 11 inches. I did not get crazy. This is just an 8.5 by 11 that I'm working with. So I made it work. Alright, so then I'm going to place this down just like that. Going to make sure I have about the same amount on both ends. Oh my gosh. Now, for the easy part. Ready? Watch this. We're going to bend it in half. Like, we're just breaking up the fibers of, and this is what we do. So we go from this to this. You see how that is? Goes from here. Just want to make sure my paper is all glued down. So we go from here, in. From here, in. And that's it. So what I did was this. I made sure that this here, I'm sorry my dog is being annoying. Texas. I made sure that this was center. And from there, I knew where I wanted to place my handles. Now, I'm making it so that the top of my ring is going to sit at the top of my bag. And I'm just going to line this up with the one that's on the other side. So that's all I'm doing. So I'm going to add glue to this. And I'm matching it up. Just like that. I'm going to let that dry for a second. Got to make sure that's down good, because when you bring this one around, it's got a little, gives it a, see? Gives it a little tension. And we want that to be dry. It'll dry. Just got to give it a second or two. All right, I let it dry. Let's see if it stays. I'm going to add some glue to this side. And I'm going to line it up over here. And I'm just going to hold them all down. This one needs a little bit more glue because I moved it too fast before. All right, now we're up to the centerpiece. This is going to be easy. Actually, let's do the sides. I can't wait to see all the different designs that you guys make. All right, cute. All right, now these are the strips that we made before. Pick out your back, pick out your front. I start on the front because the front end is the flat end. I'm gonna glue only half of this. And I'm gonna show you why. So only glue half. Right there. That, and you choose how far on your bag you want to keep it. And then you wrap it around to the top and the front. Now the reason why we're not gluing the entire thing is because we can't have the front glued. Can't have that glued. All right, so you pinch it where it's going to stay closed. And you decide on your closures. For this one, I think I'm going to wind up using the Velcro, but I have to add this first. Ooh, for me, this goes like that. And it slides, and I decide where I want to put it. Do I want it down? Do I want it to the top? That's the best part about this, is that you get to decide where do you like it the best. And I kind of like it at the bottom, right there. So for now, I now know how much more glue I need. And I'm going to go back and just glue the back of my bag. And I'm only going to go to the fold, just like that. Pinch it, and then I'm gonna go like that. Oh my gosh, are you loving it? I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. All right. Now we move on to this side. Same thing, flat side first, half glue. Okay. And then you line it up. Same side, same distance from the other side. And then fold it down. Okay, I'm going to fold it down. I'm going to get it in place, and then I'm going to know exactly where I need to add glue. I'm only going to add glue up to that fold. Easy peasy. Now, if you didn't have this and you were working on this bag, add a Mickey Mouse on that side in a different color. You know, add an embellishment. You don't have to worry about this piece. You really don't. All right, so I'm going to add this. Line it up. Oh my gosh, it's coming out. It's coming out great. All right, that's the back. Now in the print file, I did include a zipper. Here's the zipper. You could put the zipper on the front, you could put the zipper on the back. You decide where you want to put it. I wanted to do is, I know exactly what I wanted to do. Let me find it. I wanted to take some metallic and just add it to my zipper. I thought that that would be cute. Maybe not. I don't know. I think that might take away. Oh, you know what we can do? Haha. It's the same size, but let me cut another piece of pink. If this is 3 3/8, so I'll go to 3 5/8 by 1/4 inch. There we go. No, 3/4 inch. 3/4 inch by 3 5/8. OMG. And we're going to layer that just like this. Isn't that cute? Yeah, we're just going to layer this. We're going to actually do it this way because I like when zippers open. I don't know. It really doesn't matter. You decide. Alright, so we're going to put this down. Just like that. And then I am going to add glue to the back, and we're going to add it right about here. Center on the bag. And this is the back of my bag. Right there. Oh yeah. Perfect. Then I'm going to take one of those. I have two different types of zipper pulls, but right now I'm only seeing one on my desk, so we'll just use that one. Actually, I like the other one better. I know I have an extra one. There it is. I don't know, I like the solid one. I don't know. In the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't matter, does it? I really wanted to hang that. I wanted to outline. You know what? We're going to fussy cut that. Oh, actually, maybe we should just cut it out of silver. No. We're just going to attach it. we're not going to get crazy. No crazy. Add some glue, and I'm just going to have it dangle. Just like that. Is that not cute? So cute. Alright, now what we have to do is we have to do the front closure. Actually, you can use one of these. Cut out an extra one or two, layered if you want, and this can become the center closure. Oh, I'm loving that. Oh yeah. Alright, so we'll fold this in half. Secure it to the back side of it with some glue. Yep. Make sure you have your center location. Glue that down. Actually, could have made that out of Mickey. Too bad I couldn't. Well, you know what? You just never know. Alright, I am going to get Velcro closures. Part of me wants to do magnets, but I'm going to see something. These are the Dollar Tree magnets. I think I want to line the inside of the bag this time. I don't think that they're very strong. I don't like those Dollar Tree magnets. They're these. I'll use them for the refrigerator, but not my craft stuff. Alright, so we would need 3 magnets and 3 washers. Yeah, there's that New York accent, right? So these are magnets that I get from Home Depot. And I get a bag of washers with them. Like, I buy them separately. And they actually save you a lot of money instead of buying the basic gray magnets. And you know us, we like to save money wherever we can. So we can buy other things. Alright, that goes back. Alright, let's see. We'll start with the center one first. And I actually have... I wish it was... Okay, we can do this. So I'm going to add a magnet with my score tape. And this is how I do it. Grab my magnet. I'll add it to my spot. Tape it down. Actually, I need a little bit more score tape. Just like that. Pull the tape off. And then I'm going to trim this. We know it's half. So I'm going to think about where half is. I'm going to add some glue around the edges where my score tape isn't. And I'm going to press it together. And if I'm off a little, I'm just going to trim it. And we are perfect. Alright. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the washer. That was a magnet, not a washer. I'm going to grab a washer. And I am going to figure out where this closes. And then I'm going to put and it worked. So I know where it's at. Oops. Let's see if it works. That worked. Now we can add magnets to this side. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the washers to this. I'm going to add the washers to this, just like that. I am going to remove that. And then I'm pretty sure I have a 1x that I'm just going to do a small little cover for that. Just like that. And then I'm going to come back with my corner chomper and re-corner chomp. And I can't because of that thing. Okay. And now I have a visual on where it will be. I'm going to open that and I'm going to reach my hand in. I'm pretty sure I know where I'm going to be. So I'm going to grab my magnet, come in, I'm going to see if I'm in the right spot. Which is right about there, which is right about there. Okay. And it lined up. Okay, so now I can do it to, it's working. Alright, I can do it to this side now. I started with the washer on this. There's too much. Do that there. Oops. Straighten that out so that it's good. Make sure they're about the same. That's got to come down. And right there is perfect. I'm going to cut a little off, add some glue, and cover that up. Just like that. And now my magnet is covered. I know where my magnet is. I know where my magnet is. Alright. Oops. Attach my magnet to my tape. I'm going to grab the location, like that, and I know I am right about there. Let's see if it worked. Nope, I think I'm too low. Alright, let's see. And we have 3 magnets as our closure. And now for the last part of this, it's the cute little circle that I gave everybody that you can choose to cut out in your own colors. Now this is what I'm doing. Because of my detail is pink, I cut out 2 pink, actually 3 pink, 2 black, and I have a fancy one. But do you see the detail that that gives you? It's going to be raised, and it's going to give a cute little thick detail to it. So you can put 1, you can put anything you want. So I'm going to do black. And the color of my detail, I'm going to layer 3. Three of my colors, another black, and then my signature one. And you see how it kind of just sticks out a little? Kind of did that on purpose so that you see the colors in it. And now I'm going to just add it to the front of my bag. Right smack in the center. Just like that. And now let that dry, and then I'm going to be back. Now we're going to line the inside of the bag. I took 2 pieces of 8.5 by 11s, and I made them 8 1/4 by 11. So what we want to do is we want to connect them. And because this isn't part of the sturdiness of the bag, this is just a liner in the bag, you can use glue. Alright, then what we're going to do is let that dry for a second, bring back the bag. And this is so, because we made it a 1/4 of an inch smaller, check this out. Alright, so what I had to do was I had to cut 1.5 inches off of one of the sides. So one sheet's going to be 8.5 11, one's going to be 8.5 by 9.5, and you put them together. Now, this could have been done in the very beginning, but when I was watching Brittany over at BBZ Crafts, she did a smaller version after I did a tutorial on this last night. And I saw that she lined the inside of her bag, and I was like blown away at that idea. I'm like, yeah. So this is an afterthought because of what I got to see from her bag. See, I love the fact that we are inspiring one another. Like I said earlier, I'm going to leave Brittany's video and her tutorial, the links in my description box below. So remember how I added those magnets? I'm taking the plastic off of them, so the score tape. And this is what I'm going to do. You don't need a lot, because this is really just, it's going to stay in your, like, it's going to adhere to your bag. So you don't need a ton of glue. You just need some glue, because it is a liner. And I'm going to show you this. Ready? You got a lip at the top and you got a lip at the bottom. So take your paper, fold it in half, and just drop it in. Now, this here paper is, I made a photocopy, and it is typewriter paper. So it's thinner than cardstock. So just 1, 2, 3, it goes in, and it goes under those 2 lips. And just like that, it's done. Oh my God, but if you wanted to line your sides before you even do that, or use double-sided paper, that's a fabulous idea. Now I do have, now look at this. You see how the handles, we did not adhere the handles to the strap, so that's what makes these movable. If I would have glued them like I glued these, they would not be movable. So what I like about this is that these handles actually work like a pocketbook handle. Alright, so we close this back up. We could stand our handles up. And now I have one more thing. I want to create a tag. And I'm going to show you that this is where I'm inspired. I am inspired by this here bag right here. The tag that goes on the thing. I'm gonna come up with this real quick. So I know I was off camera, but I just made a quick little tag and I dangled it with some black and white rope. This is the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to check out Brittany over at BBZ Crafts. She did an amazing job. And I just want to say thanks for watching and let me know what you think in the comments. Alright everybody, have a great day and I will see you all real soon. Bye.